In Karnataka now. Now, these are ongoing Tipu Jayanti celebrations that have turned violent yet again, and this being along expected lines in the wake of multiple threats. The state Congress government, of course, going ahead and marking these celebrations on the birth anniversary of the 18th century ruler of Mysuru. But protests have been violent yet again. Public property having been disrupted to the extent that the government now has had to impose Section 144 in certain districts and areas, particularly in Kodagu. The police have instructed to go hard on the miscreants. Security measures that have further been tightened across these cities in the state.
We are not going to permit any processions for the Tipu Jayanti celebrations. The government itself is conducting the Tipu Jayanti celebrations, and in various parts of the Bangalore city, there will be some celebrations for which we have made elaborate bandobast arrangements. We are deploying 30 KSRP platoons, 25 city armed reserve platoons. Besides, all the policemen and officers, almost 11,000 policemen will be on this job, and we are employing exclusively home guards also for this purpose. And we have already identified where the places are the Tipu Jayanti is being celebrated. Proper bandobast arrangements will be done there.
Let's get in further inputs. We have with us our correspondent Srija with those details. Srija, help us understand on how these celebrations have dampened because of the violent streak of these protests. Section 144 in several areas as we speak.
That's right, Seher. In fact, this was expected. Remember that over the last couple of days, we have seen how the Congress government had clearly told that they will go ahead with the Tipu Jayanti celebration, what come may, and clearly that is what has happened. Of course, security arrangements have been stepped up in various places, especially including Bengaluru. Also in this city alone, IT capital, we see about 11,000 policemen, in fact, patrolling the streets, also taking things into situation, in fact, taking stock of situation. Also, we remember we are looking at least 31 platoons of Karnataka State Reserve Police. Now that apart, on the whole, if you're looking at Karnataka, we also see 171 platoons of Karnataka State Reserve Police who are in fact being deployed at various vantage points. We're also seeing 61 platoons of especially city armed reserve police as well who have been in fact deployed at various vantage points. Now we also see that apart, police officers have also been instructed to in fact take care of the situation. Now remember that already what we see at this point in time, several places, especially in coastal districts of Karnataka, protests have already erupted. In fact, more than 100 people have already been taken into preventive custody. Of course, the Section 144, the prohibitory order, has been imposed, invoked since Thursday, and this will be active till about Saturday 6 a.m. Now, despite knowing the fact what is going to happen, Karnataka-led Congress government decided to go ahead, and of course people are saying that this is just another idea by the Chief Minister Siddaramaya in order to in fact polarize between Hindus and Muslims and also to retain his vote bank. Of course, remember that he is looking at a significant portion of Ahinda. We're looking at the backward classes, the Muslims, especially the minority communities, as well as the Dalits, where Siddaramaya is planning to retain his vote bank. And remember that the elections are just round the corner, and this is just one of the tactics by the Congress-led Karnataka government to go ahead and celebrate Tipu Jayanti. And also remember, in some of the sensitive areas, especially hypersensitive areas like Kodagu region, Chitradurga, we see protests have already erupted, and in fact the police have been deployed to take stock of the situation.
Help us understand the kind of narrative here that is being built against Tipu Sultan. For several years, decades in the past, he was a figure in history who was respected, lauded for the kind of work that he'd done. What is this narrative that has been built only in these past couple of years, which is aggravated to this extent?
Right. fact, while the Congress government is hailing Tipu Sultan as a hero who died a heroic death, we'll see also another set of people, including the BJP, RSS workers and the right-wing activists, clearly stating the fact that he was, in fact, a person who had murdered a huge number of Hindus and forced them, tortured them to convert and embrace Islam. And that one particular community that we are talking about here is the Kodava community. Of course, we did see this is the third consecutive year where we are seeing the Karnataka-led Congress government going ahead and celebrating Tipu Jayanti. In fact, we also see just in the first year of celebration the number of deaths only because of this particular celebration. Now, keeping that in mind, despite the fact that there will be clash and people will cross swords, keeping this in mind, we understand the Chief Minister of the state has asked his cabinet ministers to go ahead with the celebration, and keeping in the mind the kind of
a lot of these protests are politically motivated. When we say people, these are protesters belonging to the opposition, primarily belonging to the BJP opposition in the state there.
That's right, Seher. What you see on your screen also, you can see that BJP leaders, especially in Udupi, they have already been detained, taken into preventive custody. Definitely this is politically motivated, and BJP has been against this as far as the Tipu Jayanti celebrations are concerned. But if you really remember, this particular celebration came into the fact where Chief Minister Siddaramaiah was banking on this vote politics as far as the minority communities are concerned, and that is exactly why he came into power. He won the elections in the year 2013, and now he continues to in fact bank on that kind of an idea as far as Hinda is concerned. But if you really remember, in the year that is when Yediyurappa was Chief Minister, he of course did embrace, remember from the BJP themselves, they of course did embrace and celebrate Tipu Jayanti. But the irony here is they themselves are coming out in the open,
so there has been several images of Yediyurappa as the Chief Minister marking Tipu Jayanti as well. That's wherein the irony lies there. Srija, thank you for those inputs.